Well, hello. Welcome back to another episode of I'm Not Triggered the podcast. I'm your host, Adrian Purchase, and I'm so glad you're here today because today we're going to continue the last part of our DBT skills series, and we're going to cover interpersonal effectiveness. And that's just a fancy way of saying we're going to talk about how to have better relationships. By the end of the video, you're going to have 3 concrete tools that you can use, not tomorrow, but today, to start saying no with confidence and actually feel okay about doing it. I don't want to waste your time, so let's just get started. DBT gives us 3 awesome tools for interpersonal effectiveness, i.e., boundary setting. You can think of them as your boundary setting toolkit, actually. And the first one is Dear Man. And this is your go-to skill for asking for what you need or for saying no. And let me break this down for you. So we describe the situation, right? We express our feelings. We assert our needs clearly. We reinforce why this need or desire matters. We stay mindful and focused on the topic at hand. We appear confident in what we're saying and what we're asking, and we're willing to negotiate if we need to. Here's how it sounds in real life, okay? Just a blanket example. Sarah, you asked me to help you move this weekend, which describe, and I care about our friendship and I want to support you, express, but I need this weekend to recharge because I've been overwhelmed lately, assert. And when I'm well rested, I can be a better friend to you. That's reinforce. And then we could say, is there another day that would work? Or could we figure out a different way that I could help? That's negotiate, right? So it seems really long and convoluted, but in practicality, when you put it all together, it kind of makes a lot of sense. And it sounds pretty reasonable, right? So the next tool is the give skill. And again, it's an acronym, GIVE. We're gentle, interested, we validate, and we have an easy manner. And this one's just about maintaining relationships while we're setting boundaries. It's not about being fake or just being nice. It's about being firm and kind at the same time. So when we're maybe setting a boundary, we can be gentle, which is we have a kind tone. We don't attack. We're interested. We listen to what the other person is saying. We listen to their perspective and their experience. We can validate and acknowledge what they've experienced and what they are feeling. And we have an easy manner about it. We stay light. We don't be too intense. Our energy doesn't need to go up to 100. We just need to be calm. Now, the third tool is the FAST tool. And this is an acronym again. So we're fair. We make apologies. We stick to our values and we're truthful. And this one protects our sense of self-respect. And this is incredibly important if you have BPD or bipolar or PTSD, especially because generally we identify too much with our emotions. And we just think that we're our emotions. FAST skill helps us protect our self-respect because it keeps us in mind even when we're asking for something or setting a boundary or saying no. So we're fair to not just others, right? But we're also fair to ourselves. And we apologize, but we don't over apologize and carry guilt that isn't ours. We're going to stick to our own values, right? It's really important to know what we stand for. And we're going to be honest because being honest, honestly, the reason I'm honest is it's just much easier to remember. To be honest, I don't have to remember all the lies. I'm terrible at remembering things anyway, right? Let's talk about why saying no feels so terrifying to start with. So in DBT, we learn that there are 3 core fears that keep us trapped in our people-pleasing kind of mindset. And the first one is this fear of real or imagined abandonment. And this is very real. And this narrative of, well, they'll leave me if I don't do what they are asking or what they want. Then we have the fear of conflict, which is also very real, right? Which is the narrative of I cannot handle when they're upset with me. Then we have the fear of being selfish. Like the narrative would be, well, good people always put others first. So if I don't put others first, I'm not a good people. And that's just not true. Now, this might blow your mind a little bit, but boundaries are not walls. They're more like fences with gates in them. And when you don't have boundaries, you end up resentful. exhausted, and actually you're less helpful to the people that you love and care about. You become what I call like the burned out helper. And that's not very helpful. I'm going to give you common situations and I'm going to show you exactly how to handle them using these tools. So your boss dumps another project on you and you've already got a full plate at work. You're already feeling overwhelmed and anxious about this. We can use Dear Man in this instance, right? Now, here's the part that nobody actually talks about though. The guilt from saying no and setting a boundary will still show up. That's normal. Your brain has been wired to believe that other people's comfort is more important than your own well-being. And here's what I want you to remember though. You can feel guilty and also still do the right thing for yourself by saying no or having a boundary. The guilt will fade over time. Feelings don't last forever. They're constantly changing. But the resentment from saying yes to things that we should have said no to, well, that will grow over time. And that is what damages relationships much more than saying no and having boundaries. You don't have to start big, just start small. Practice with low stakes. Say no to the coworker who asks you to cover their shift when you already have plans. Build the boundary muscle, right? Say no to your parents when they ask you to come over for this weekend, but you were there last weekend and you have things to do. You feel guilty for saying no, but you can still say no. So your assignment this week, of course, there's an assignment this week, is just to pick one situation where you need to set a boundary, just one. You can use Dear Man, right? And then you can plan out what you're saying with the Dear Man script. You can practice it out loud and then do it. Let me know how it goes. I'd love to hear from you in the comments. If you want to support the work that I do in the videos, don't forget to hit subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss anything. There's new videos mostly every week. And remember, you don't need perfect boundaries. You just need better boundaries than you had yesterday. So thanks so much for watching. And until next time, take good care of yourself.